Hi guys, I'm Miranda. I'm 19 years old and I just got direct admission to the most prestigious university in the United States. Please like and subscribe if you like the story. As you can see, I am tall and attractive. I have short black hair and brown eyes, which makes me look more stylish and active. Look, this is my Hermes bag. Do you think it matches the expensive dress? And what about this brand new phone? This is the life I've been dreaming of. In reality, I have a family who loves me, but my parents are old with low income, so we've been struggling financially. I am hardworking and smart, so I get quite a few scholarships from famous universities. I chose to go with a school known as a rich kid camp. The students there all look knowledgeable, stylish, and playful. It was quite hard for me to fit in. As for me, I have nothing glamorous, and I feel extremely ashamed of my low-income background. Who would have thought that one day I would have been kidnapped? That afternoon, the professor asked me to stay after the lesson to discuss the fellowship project further. By the time most of the students had left, the campus was so empty. I felt someone walking behind me. The man was all in black, which made him even more suspicious. He obviously knew that I was aware of him following me, but still tried to close the gap between us. By the time I got out of the school gate, he was only a step away from me. He pulled me back and said quietly,
"Don't be afraid, and sorry for doing this."
My mouth was covered by a handkerchief, and I didn't have time to react. I was still conscious enough to know that I was brought in a car, but didn't know anything happened after that. After a few hours, I woke up. It took a bit of time for things to look clearer in front of me. It was high and a strange ceiling. Coming to realize that I had been kidnapped, I immediately stood up and looked around to find something that could help save my life. I jumped out of bed and opened the large curtains to see where I was. Oh my goodness! It was a huge mansion with a beautiful garden full of roses and a swimming pool in the middle of several separate villas. Was I dreaming? The place looked so beautiful and luxurious. The interior seemed very expensive. If I hadn't seen two guards standing at the gate, I might have thought I was on a vacation. Suddenly, I heard a man's voice.
"Are you up?"
I saw a middle-aged man in a very nice outfit. At that moment, I felt a strange connection to him, as if we had known each other before. I must have seen his face on a TV channel my dad often watched. And just like that, it hit me. He's one of America's billionaires. Why am I here? Did you kidnap me? Did my parents owe you money? The man replied slowly.
"Miss Miranda, I'm Harry, the owner of this place. Sorry for taking you here without your permission."
As he talked, the man pulled out a stack of files and handed them to me. "What is this?" I asked.
"A few days ago, my daughter passed away in an accident. She looks a lot like you. My mom just went through a serious injury and her health hasn't recovered fully. We don't want the bad news to shock her. I brought you here with the hope that you can pretend to be my daughter. Can you help me?"
In the folder, there was a photo of a grandmother and granddaughter who just passed away. She indeed looked like me. Even in my wildest dream, I wouldn't ever think that I have a twin who is the daughter of a billionaire. The contract he drafted could bring me a lot of profits. It would last about a half a year, and my duties were to live his daughter's life and stay close to his ill mother. Without any hesitation, I signed the contract. I went back home and told my parents about everything. Unlike me, they didn't think it was a good idea, and then we got into a big fight. I ran away from home and swore that I would not come back until they apologized. I still remember vividly the first time I had a private driver taking me to school. There was also a team of professional assistants who helped me with my makeup and choosing outfits to look like a lady from a wealthy family. Somebody took photos of the moment I got out of the car and posted them on the school's social networks. Everybody commented on my look and kept sharing the post. The interaction increased rapidly in just one day, and it felt so strange to suddenly become famous.
Oh my god! She's so beautiful! That's what the life of a rich kid looks like!
That car is the limited edition.
Wow! This girl is so lucky!
If I got a chance to marry her, I would do anything.
Those comments made me super happy. Since that day, I've made a lot of friends. We talked and hung out a lot together. I was taken to the most luxurious restaurants and nightclubs in town. With such fame, of course, I was one to cover all the bills. One day, I was in the living room of the mansion when Harry told me,
My mom will be discharged from the hospital tomorrow. I'll have private doctors to take care of her. But remember, your duty as Gree is to stay in the villa with Grandma.
Yes, I will do my best not to be suspected by Grandma. That morning, I was led to Grandma's villa. I met her in the garden. I had fully expected that she would be too weak to move around. But to my surprise, she was quite active and strong enough to use her wheelchair by herself. Apart from her pale face, she looked very pretty.
Miranda, are you here to visit me? I have seen you in a month. Come here, let me see you.
I nervously approached her. She saw me and suddenly cried a lot, to the point that we had to ask a doctor to give her an injection to calm her down. Grandma still ate well, but her mental health was not too positive. We were served tons of delicious dishes every day, made by the top chefs in the region. But if I could be honest with you all, the taste was terrible. I am a picky eater, and my skin is very sensitive. I am allergic to seafood and peanuts. One time, I accidentally ate peanuts and could hardly breathe. My body turned red like a lobster as well. Grandma loved me so much that she requested me to eat more of the food that the real Miranda loved. Every meal was nothing but torture to me. After each time, I would go straight to the bathroom and force myself to throw up everything I had eaten. A few days ago in the school cafeteria, I was having lunch with my friends. I was attracted by the shouts of the girls. Oh my God! Isn't it Bevis? Where? He's the top student in our school and the most attractive guy in the faculty. A girl nearby kept asking her friends, How do I look? Decent? To which her friend replied, Yes, I told you so many times already. Go! I was also curious about who that guy was. A moment later, my curiosity was satisfied. He was about 180 centimeters tall, with curly hair and seemed into street style. I thought my heart stopped for a second. He's my destiny! He glanced at the girls and then approached my desk. He smiled and said,
Hi, I'm Bevis. I've known you for a long time. Can we talk privately?
I smiled proudly and followed him. I passed the girls and couldn't help but acted arrogantly. After that time, Bevis and I got to know each other. We had a lot in common, and one important thing was that he was a rich kid too. He asked me to meet at his house and we had a first kiss. We agreed to be boyfriend and girlfriend of each other from then on. At my villa, I was standing in front of the mirror and realized that I lost a lot of weight. Suddenly, I thought about my mom. If she had seen me like that, she would have been super upset. My parents called me a lot, but I didn't pick up. It was just 3 days away until my birthday. I planned to hold a big birthday party and try to hide that I was Harry's fake daughter. I want to be surrounded and flattered by people. I sent out invitations to everyone, feeling all excited about the biggest birthday party of my life. It was held in one of the most luxurious restaurants in town. Little did I know that the party was also the end of my dream life. One day before my birthday, my mother called me more than 10 times, but I didn't want to talk to her, so I turned on silent mode in my phone. After school that day, I was just about to get in the car to go back to the villa when I heard my mom's voice.
Miranda, it's me, your mom. Miranda, wait a minute. I need to tell you something.
Why did you yell so loudly? My friends could have heard you. And you even dared to come to see me looking like this?
I'm sorry, honey, but why are you so skinny? Why didn't you pick up my calls? I was so worried, don't you know? Tomorrow is your birthday. I don't have much, so I made this cake for you. I love you so much, baby.
I didn't think too much, just felt annoyed, so I replied, Stop bothering my life! Please leave before anyone else sees you! My mom kept holding me back and wouldn't let go. I pushed her away and accidentally tossed the cake to the ground. My mom cried. I was worried that someone would see that scene, so I quickly gave her some money to take a taxi home. A lot of people attended my birthday party, I put on my best dress and became the center of my party. When it was time for me to go on the stage for a toast, suddenly someone shouted, "Stop lying! You are a daughter of a poor woman, and I saw you treated her badly just the other day. Where did you get the money for this party? From your sugar daddy?" Soon after that, everybody's phone got a notification. It was a post about me with the title, "Fake Rich Kid Throwing Money in the Face of Her Own Mother. Suspicion of a Sugar Daddy Behind." The post showed the scene of me and my mother arguing after school yesterday. And who was behind that? Nobody else but the girl that was crazy about Bevis. She ran into me in the school cafeteria at that time. I was shamed and yelled at by everyone at the party. Even Bevis stood in front of the crowd and called me a scammer. My birthday party was completely ruined. Back in the villa, in the dark room, I couldn't stop crying. My mom was so worried about me, and I treated them so poorly. In the end, only family truly cares about you. I called my mom and apologized to her for everything. She and my dad didn't even scold me, but asked me to come home because they missed me a lot. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. It turned out to be Grandma. She walked slowly into the room, sat on the bed, looked at me for a long time, and started talking to me.
Miranda, I realized you're not my granddaughter the first moment I saw you. I just tried to deceive myself. If you're homesick, go back to your family.
I held her tightly in my arms and sobbed. The day I went to visit my parents, I didn't let them know in advance. The house key with my family photo attached to it has always been something I treasure. Opening the door, welcoming me were the familiar faces, the intense aroma of my favorite food from the kitchen, and the sound of my father's television. Everything was so simple, but it made me so happy. "Mom, Dad, I'm back." Hearing my voice, they rushed over and hugged me tightly.